We are here. We're ready for football. The Ridgers are going to kick it off.
Yeah, I wonder if there's an advantage to kicking off in a day like today. It would seem to me, in a big game like this with a wet ball and a wet field, it might be an advantage to be on defense right from go.
So the Ridgers kick it off. And Verona will get started from about the 23-yard line. So again, Verona will start from the 23. Let's meet the Verona offense today. They come in at 3-1-1. They used weak side guard and tackle and strong side. On the weak side, Chris Needs and Mike DeMiro. The center is Dave Buzzin. On the strong side, Anthony DeSantis and Al Ruglio. The backs and receivers line up this way: Mark Anico and Dave Anico. The wingback, Keith Ferguson. The tight end, Ken Jennings. The split end, Brian DeRoma. And the quarterback is Joe Martino. On first down, a gain of about 1 on the play. And again, I apologize. It's going to be very difficult to make calls as to who is actually handling the football. Let's meet the defense for Glen Ridge. They'll line up in a 4-4 today. The ends are Hellstern and Nags. The tackles, Dubuque and Spurl. The linebacking core is Heckel, Martignoni, Makel, and Jackson. And 3 deep for the Ridgers: Mike Spina, Tom Cecere, and Todd Bensaveni is the safety. Let's call it 2nd and 9 for the Hillbillies. Free ball. It is recovered by Verona, and it will be 3rd down for the Hillbillies. That was Mark Anico on the carry. He lost about 2 yards on the play, and now they will more correctly set the ball up back near the original line of scrimmage. So a loss of 1. Let's call it 3rd and 10 for Verona.
One of the things that a wet field does do is offsets the timing in the backfield. You just don't run at the same clip, the same speed. Subsequently, the ball doesn't get to where you want it to get at the same time, and that was the problem that time.
3rd and 10, true passing situation for Verona. They'll try the dive up the middle. It'll be good for a couple yards, but it will be a 4th down punting situation coming up for the Hillbillies. Jamie D'Angelo does the punting.
I think just until they get a good feel of the ball, good feel of the footing, why, it's going to be a wise thing to let the other fellas handle the ball.
Good snap. And a good high kick by D'Angelo. And Glen Ridge will get started on their first possession near midfield.
Fair catch, I assume.
Glen Ridge offensively lines up this way. They also go with weak side and strong side guards and tackles. The tackles are Kerr and Spurl. The guards are Nags and Hellstern, and John Dubuque is the center for the Ridgers. In the backfield, the tailback, Corbett Jones. The fullback is Deli Makel. And the flanker today will be will actually be Tom Cecere. Todd Bensaveni and Devin Martignoni are the ends. Frank Townsend is the Glen Ridge quarterback. And no surprise, on first down, it is Jones. Jones going to the outside, and he looks to be picking up about 9 yards on the play. We'll set the Verona defense for you, and then we'll tell you once again why we're being a little tentative in our calls. Verona defensively will line up with Jennings and Ruglio as the ends. Onofrietti and Carullo are the tackles. The 4-man linebacking core is Skinner, the DeSantis brothers, and Matt Dorella. And 3 deep for Verona: Cole, Ferguson, and DeRoma. It is 2nd down and 2. This is Makel. And Makel will carry the ball into Verona territory at the 45-yard line. Deli Makel, a junior.
And a tough, hard runner. He's built low, built close to the ground, and that's where he runs, and he's hard to tackle.
And Bill, you feel that the fullbacks, and they will substitute Makel number 3 and Heckel number 5, will be a key to the Glen Ridge attack today to free up Jones.
Yeah, well, obviously the fullbacks are offset. They're not lined up directly behind the center most of the time. And if you key Jones, why, that slanting fullback's going to run a little quick trap inside, as they just did, and he's going to beat you bad.
Jones tripped up in the middle and brought down by Mike DeSantis.
You see, that time they had the fullback lined up behind the center. He led up quick inside, and if you read the fullback, then you can read the tailback. Most of the time with that particular offense, what makes it difficult is the fact that the fullback is offset, and you can't really read the fullback.
No, we can't read anything from here once again because of a emergency, a power line down near the press box. We have been asked, as has the official scoreboard operator and the people who run the film crews for the respective teams, to vacate the press box, and that's why we're doing the best we can by sitting near the sidelines. And it's going to be difficult.
One of the things that I did notice was the fact that Glen Ridge lines up in a pro set every time. They've got a flanker one way and they've got a wide receiver and end split out wide the other way. They're being taken man to man, with the man doing the covering about 6 yards off the receiver. It seems to me they're going to be able to throw to him real quick pretty soon.
First man is Makel, and he is stopped back at the line of scrimmage. There was a penalty, by the way, on the previous down. It cost Glen Ridge 5. And it will be again 3rd and 15 coming up for the Ridgers. And again, because of the press box being vacated by the scorekeeper, we have no idea at all of how much time will be remaining in this quarter. And it's just a matter of how soon we are able to get back into the press box that we will be able to give you such information. But we are scoreless here. It's Glen Ridge's first possession. And Townsend looking to throw, and it's going to be caught. And caught at about the 15-yard line, Tom Saucier. Saucier, a 5'5" senior. As we said, he's getting the start today at flanker. He's hit, makes a great catch.
Well, you notice that there's man-to-man coverage. There was nobody to help out in the secondary. The ball was sent up very well by Frank Townsend through a nice pass, led his receiver well, and a good reception. One-on-one, you know, that receiver's going to have an advantage every time. Now right out here to your left, you see number 9 has got single coverage.
That's Saucier, but the pitch goes back to Jones. Jones tries to get to the outside, and he's covered up quickly by Brian DeRoma. DeRoma, a junior right cornerback.
They're going to have to penetrate if they're going to stop Jones. You know, they can't. Once he gets going, why, he's got so much quickness and so much flat-out speed, why, he's going to run by people. They've got to get in that Glen Ridge secondary. They got to get in that Glen Ridge backfield and get the play at least interrupted before it gets started.
Little gain, actually no gain on the play, so it will be 2nd and 10 for the Ridgers. The Ridgers come into this one 3 and 2. Again, it is Jones. Fights his way forward for at least 5 yards.
That was a good run. Not a whole lot of room there, and Jones made the best of it that time. Ran well. He doesn't need a whole lot of room. Big as he is, you know, he's quick and he's got quick feet.
He's a 6'1" senior, goes about 210 pounds. He was all conference last year at wide receiver. And there, the offset fullback that Glen Ridge shows us. 3rd and 5. Jones on the delayed handoff. Skips outside, got a few yards.
You see, that time they ran the fullback inside and they ran the tailback outside.
And Glen Ridge is going to go for it. And the reason we know that immediately is their place kicker is Todd Bensaveni. He's coming off the field. It will be 4th and 2 for the Ridgers. So early here in the football game, from the 7-yard line, Glen Ridge will go for it. Remember, these two teams combined for 97 points last year. Already Glen Ridge threatening on their first possession of the ball game.
We got a timeout, Paul, and I just don't know who called it.
I believe it was an official's timeout. It could have been for a quick equipment repair, maybe to wipe off the football. It's hard to see. 4th and short yardage. Jones hit in the backfield and stopped, and Verona will take over. This time it is Anthony DeSantis.
Good
so the
hit.
DeSantis brothers with a pair of big tackles in this first defensive possession for Verona.
See, now Verona lines up in the 4-4, but they're never really in a 4-4 because you're always sending 1 or 2 or sometimes all 4 people. So what they do wind up is at an 8-man front. And the two